Oh, man. Well, it's official, folks. A good afternoon. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Yeah. Well, it's official, folks. The Gumps have officially lost their mind. Now, I think a lot of them lost their mind several years ago. Well, ever since 2008, whenever Nick Saban got hired. I mean, we all know the old adage. Of course, Uncle Lou's exposed this several times on his channel. Half these Gumps can't name the coach that even became before Saban, let alone 2 or 3 coaches before that. But all I've done is ever since I've been on YouTube for over a year now, all I've ever done over and over and over and over and over again is get on here and trash teams. Michigan, South Carolina, Ohio State, the Trojans, Miami, Texas, Oklahoma, you name it. All I've ever done since I've been on YouTube is get on here and kiss the ass of these Gumps who started watching football 10 years ago. And all I've ever said is how much respect I have for the Gumps. How much respect I have for Alabama as a program because of what they've accomplished. This whole entire season, all of last season, this whole entire season, all I do is go on there and say Alabama is deserving of the #1 spot in the country. They've earned it. Despite all of that, all I get is pushback. All I get, I mean, anything short of saying that Alabama is the Patriots, Alabama could beat the Raiders, Alabama would smoke everybody they play, Tua Tagovailoa is the best quarterback to ever be born on the planet, he's the Jesus of college football, is an insult to these Gumps. Now, I don't paint any one fan base with a broad brush, okay? I have several Alabama fans on my channel that have been very supportive. I mean, Billy Dawson is my #1 guy. Ryan Stanfield, my #1 guy. I mean, even Christian Ballard gets on here, gives me a hard time. He's a stand-up guy. But these people have lost their mind. All you've got to do is say one trigger word. One. Can anybody guess what that trigger word is? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a B. Beatable. If you say that Alabama is beatable, these fools blow their skulls open with rage. They think that they're unbeatable. I'm going to read some comments here. Let's start with the most recent. I'm not going to name names here. I'm not going to put anybody on blast. You know who you are. Just go look on my channel. This is just a small example of the stuff I read a dozen times a day when I wake up in the morning after doing a live stream. Clemson damn sure is beatable. They played the 53rd ranked defense and should have blew out Boston College by 40, but they couldn't score 30. They're a lot more beatable than Alabama is. At least Alabama did beat the 7th best defense, which they were 6th best before they played, and beat them fairly easy, no matter if you think it was a close game. I mean, what I think is irrelevant. It's a close game. A close game is a close game, okay? Alabama could have scored again if they really wanted to. Everybody remember that. Alabama could have scored again if they really wanted to. That's important to know. But obviously the game was out of hand and playing a backup, and we're running the ball every single play. And LSU destroyed the #2 ranked Georgia at the time, which were very overrated, 38-16. Then Alabama wins over LSU 29-0, period. So if Alabama is mediocre, I'll get to that in a second. That Georgia just flat out sucks then. Now, I don't even know where to start with this. This is the dumbest comment I've ever had in the history of my channel. And that's saying a lot because I've heard a lot of dumb shit over the past year. First of all, let's start with the beginning of this. Clemson damn sure is beatable. When did I say Clemson's not beatable? Someone go back in the archives of Pigskin Pete's YouTube channel. Well, I've uploaded 300 videos by now, and I want you to name one single time when I ever said that Clemson's not beatable. Find it for me. I'll pay you $500. Find it for me. Download it. Copy it, paste it, and send it to me, and I will send you $500 in PayPal tomorrow. If you can find one time when I ever said Clemson's not beatable. I don't even know where else to begin. I mean, everything on this is stupid. We could have scored more, but we didn't because we didn't want. Shut up! Oh, here's my favorite part. So if Alabama is mediocre, then Georgia just flat out sucks. I mean, when did I ever say Alabama was mediocre? When? Somebody tell me. Write it down. Do the same thing I just told you to do before. It's another $500. If you could do those two things, you'll be $1,000 richer by tomorrow. If you can entertain me with those two things. Number one, whenever I said Alabama was mediocre. Number two, whenever I said that Clemson's not beatable. This is my point, people. All you got to do is say, you know what? I think that Alabama can be beat, whether it's by Georgia or Clemson or Michigan or Oklahoma or somebody. They're human. They're college football players. They're college kids. They're 18, 19, 20 years old. They're not Tom Brady. They're not Bill Belichick. They're not Aaron Rodgers. They're not Randy Moss. Despite what you may think, Tua Tagovailoa is a human, and he's beatable. I saw it with my own eyes. I know that there's reasonable Alabama fans out there. I know it. I know it deep down in my brain, because if there isn't, then this sport is broken. If these morons actually think that they have a team that's not beatable, then college football has lost its fucking mind. And I'm going to tell you right now, they said that I don't know what year it was, 2012, something like that, the Patriots, whenever they went 16-0, Randy Moss and Tom Brady threw for 50 touchdowns together, right? The Patriots, they were unbeatable. But they got beat by a much less talented, undeserving New York Giants team in the Super Bowl that year. I want you to remember back to 2005, if you can. If some of you were football fans then, but if you're an Alabama fan, chances are you weren't, because your team sucked then. But I want everybody to remember back to 2005, when the USC Trojans were the best team in the country. Some were saying the best football team in the history of college football. Does that sound familiar to you people? Because that's what we're hearing this year about this Alabama team. No way they can lose. Texas can't beat USC. USC ran over everybody and embarrassed everybody during that entire season. And what happened? What happened? They lost. I've been watching college football long enough, since the 80s, since the mid-80s. I know I look young. I know I defy physics with how good I look at my age. But I've been watching college football for over 30 years. And there's one thing I know about any sport, especially college football. You can put the NFL in there too. Hell, you can put baseball and basketball in there if you want. NHL, tennis, golf, whatever. Nobody's unbeatable. And the minute that you think that you're unbeatable is when you get beat. So if you're an Alabama fan right now, the fact that everybody thinks you're unbeatable, the fact that you think you're unbeatable should worry you. And it should worry you a lot. We'll see you in January, fuckers.